My name is Philippe Mengal, and I am the Executive Director of the Bio-based Industries Joint Undertaking, so-called BBI-JU. BBI-JU is at the very heart of the bioeconomy. So in fact, we are a public-private partnership, but particular status. We are a European body, an EU agency in a certain way, but co-managed by the private sector and by the European Commission. So this public-private partnership has a budget of 3.7 billion euro to fund research and innovation projects in the field of bioeconomy in Europe. The mission of BBI is to implement the strategic innovation and research agenda that have been developed by the Biobased Industry, BIC, the Biobased Industries Consortium, and endorsed by the Commission. So how do we implement this agenda? By translating this strategic agenda into an annual work plan, organizing call for proposal for research and innovation action with the different level of technology readiness, starting from research and innovation action, where it's about developing a technology to fill the gap in an existing value chain, demonstration project, which is about the scaling up of the technology, and flagship plant, and there is the full commercial deployment of the biorefinery. So we organize the call, we select the proposal with independent expert, and we manage all the project cycle until the delivery of the report and the dissemination of the result. It's a central aspect of what we cover. The Strategic Innovation and Research Agenda has been reviewed in 2017 because the sector is developing and changing very fast. And now the agenda is organized in strategic orientation that intends to cover the whole value chain, starting with the feedstock, continuing with the transformation, and ending with the end use of the project. And key enabling technologies are at the very heart of the second strategic orientation, which is the transformation of the feedstock at different level, pre-treatment, conversion with different kind of technologies, and also purification, extraction, downstream processing, until the moment we have the ingredient or the functional molecule on the right form. So it's really at the very heart of what we cover. I think a big challenge is not simply to use key enabling technology to cut and destroy the biomass until monomer and then rebuild something new. We strongly believe that one of the key challenges is to keep as much as possible the complexity offered by nature. I know it's a bit of a theoretical model, but it has several advantages. First of all, we can generate completely new functionalities, which means that then the new products developed don't find with the fossil reference only on price, because they provide new functionality. And by simplifying the transformation, of course, we are supposed to have more cost-efficient process, because if we destroy and then we rebuild, then it's of course more expensive. So it's a challenge with a lot of benefits behind. There was an exercise done at the beginning of BBI to really identify what are the risks and the challenge this sector is facing with. Because we are a bit in a particular situation. This sector, as I said during the conference, already weigh for more than 3 million direct jobs in Europe, and close to 700 billion euro turnover. But it's a fragmented sector and still facing with challenges and risks. We talk about key enabling technology, which is really, I said, in the heart of the value chain, but there are other challenges. For instance, for the feedstock supply, there is this risk of competition with food, but also the reliability of the supply, quantitatively speaking and qualitatively speaking. Because if you have a process process, you need to feed it with always the right amount and right quality of feedstock. The logistic is important because very often you have the feedstock, but not the logistic in place to transport in good economical condition from where it is generated to where it will be transformed. And I would like also to highlight some big challenges at the end of the value chain, because consumer awareness, consumer willingness, or brand owner willingness to use bio-based product is critical. What we see today, there is a lot of interest, but there is also a lot of confusion. Confusion between bio-based, biodegradable, and so on. So a lot of interest, but we really need to do to still do a lot of effort in clarifying the model and maybe put in place some specific labels or such a kind of thing in place. There are other challenges, but I think those ones are really critical ones. Maybe if I may, I could enlarge the expectation not only on my own expectation, but I would say the expectation of the overall sector. I think what is really of high added value in an event like this is the networking. It's something we are networking, but it's critical because as I said, this sector weighs a lot, but extremely fragmented. You have farmers, cooperative of farmers, chemical industry, automotive industry, pulp and paper, plenty of companies, but not connected. I really appreciate the exercise of doing a simulation of building a consortium, but there was another comment very important in the end, is to say, voila, we build a consortium, you are ready to apply for a call. Okay, of course the objective is to get the grant, but maybe more important is that you are already establishing connection for business. So the high added value on this kind of event is of course to update companies, organizations, what they do, but really about establishing connection between actors of the sector. For me, it's absolutely key in this, in particular in this sector, which is not a well-established sector like pharma industry, automotive industry. Not yet, not yet.